Meek Mill wants a podcast deal, but he doesn't want it from DJ Akademiks. These two have been feuding online for weeks now. Meek tweeted, "I want a podcast deal. I have a lot to say on many different levels. If you have a podcast business and it's moving slow, I can reverse that. I've always been my own media and I want to join the culture of black media. I want to partner with somebody already good in the business, no, not just to dive in." He said he got offered 2 episodes a month. Well, how about DJ Akademiks offering Meek a deal? Ak said, "I'll offer you $1 million up front for 52 episodes, 1 a week. I'll own your video and audio with an option to renew for a second year. Also, we bust down the ads, 50%. You can own the podcast, but we share the IP as long as you are in the deal, and I'll handle the production," said Akademiks. Well, I don't think Meek liked that offer from Ak, which, by the way, wasn't a bad deal at all for anybody else out there. Meek told Ak, "I'm richer than everybody that you deal with. You streaming for your chair getting drunk. I'm changing laws and stopping major hood beefs and trying to uplift the culture. I hang around billionaires and I'm all caked up." Yeah, I don't think Meek Mill and Akademiks will be doing business with each other anytime soon, unless they decide to do that boxing match. I saw that they got an offer out there to box each other. I don't think they're going to be doing a podcast deal together anytime soon. Y'all know, by the way, your boy Ferro, I'm 30 years of age, but I'm a guy that's been in the game for a little minute now on my own, by the way. Shoot, edit, create all of my own stuff. It's been that way for me forever. And I thought this was interesting to see how the world has changed so much, and Meek Mill's a good example of it. I remember like 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago when Meek Mill dissed podcasts, because I think he was like beefing with Joe Budden at the time or something like that. But it's crazy to see how the world has shifted on podcasts. I know people that can't go without their podcast for a day. I'm a person that's got to have my Joe Budden podcast. Obviously, I got to create, and I don't never consider myself a podcast, right? But I know people that can't go without my videos, without tapping in with me week in, week out. It's crazy to see how the world has shifted on something that used to be frowned upon. And y'all, I don't like toot my own horn, but listen, I knew this era was coming. That's why I was ahead of the game. That's why I've been able to still hang around with all the changes and all that stuff. I still been able to make a good living for myself because I kind of had that foresight, and it's interesting to see Meek. I remember Meek specifically, shout out to Meek. He was clowning podcasts years ago, and to see him full circle now say, "Yo, I want to talk to people." It's my belief that podcasts are just gonna be regular degla. It's just talking to people. I think everybody's gonna have a podcast. That's what I believe. And it's going to come down to who has something to say that's valuable. On a personal level, I don't want Meek to get a podcast, not because I don't want the man to go get the money. Go get all your money, Meek. That's not what this is about. I don't want Meek to get a podcast deal because I feel as if though his tweet's not going to be fire anymore. Y'all know I believe Meek is the greatest and worst tweeter of all time. And I would like it to stay that way, damn it. And I believe a lot of Meek's random outbursts that sound crazy when you read them online is because he doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't do a lot of interviews nowadays. I don't want that to change. There's nobody's Twitter that's more excited than Meek Mill's, and I just don't want the podcast to change that. Time, love, and support. Y'all let me know. Would y'all be here for a Meek Mill podcast? Or let's do this. Let's shift the question and let's really have some fun with it. Of your favorite rapper or artist out there, who would you like to see have a podcast? Who actually do you believe would be good at communicating with the people? I don't even know the answer to that. That's something that I actually just came with on the fly, because there are a lot of people out there that can have great interviews, that are, I'm sure, great mentors, but actually listening to them talk a couple times a week, it wouldn't be exciting. Like hosting a program, it would be good. I'm gonna throw a name out there. I bet you Gucci Mane, if he really got into it, would be a great podcast. That's what I believe. You hear the stories about how Jay-Z allegedly is like the most talkative guy behind the scenes and has got all the game in the world and doesn't mind giving it to you at all, right? But doesn't really like talking with cameras rolling. If I had to take a guess of who's like that down south, I've met Gucci a few times over, but I don't know him. I bet you Gucci Man would be that guy. That's my guess. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that one in the comment section. Facebook, share it out. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories. I talk music. I cover sports. I am culture. I am Pharaoh.